Good evening, everybody. Welcome to my Sunday Night Live. My name is Kelley Farley and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator based in Karaka, Auckland, New Zealand. And today we're going to make this little flip panel card, which I've seen on Pinterest and other people's blogs and thought, oh no, I don't have the brain power at the moment to deal with that. I've used a new DSP and stamp and die set, which is called Latte, which is a new one that is available as an online exclusive. So these little coffee cups are in the dies, and this is a little spoon, and then a splatter and coffee rings that I've used in the background. And these are some more stamps that are in the stamp set. Two more of the cups, and then this is one of the pieces of designer series paper that I have decided to use on it. Right, before we get started, I just want to make sure that everything is working on here and I'm in the right place. Please be in the right place. There it is. Put mute. Got that there. Please do say hello if you are popping into craft, and so we're going to have a go at making that. So you'll need just need a paper trimmer and some paper, decorating and stamps and dies and things, and maybe some ink if you wanted to do some stamping. So there's a few parts to it. I'll take you through them. I've pre-cut this one here. I've just used designer series paper as my decoration, so I've just pre-cut it. I'll put them out of the way. Hello, Alison. Alright, so what you're going to need is 2 pieces of card, and these are a quarter piece of your A4. So this is 5 7/8 by 4 1/8. So if you were to just get your A4, well, actually that's the standard card size that we make. It's slightly wider. We would normally go, oh no, it's not actually, 4 1/8. So that's a quarter of our cardstock, and then I'm decorating the front of it with a piece of designer series paper. This one here, I've got a little border around so that you can see oh my gosh, there's a notification. I think that's the first time in ages that that's happened. I've got a little border around the outside of the DSP. This one here, I've decided to keep it the same size. So I've written a little post-it note for you. So 2 pieces of cardstock at 5 7/8. So that's 2 little lines before the 6 inches, and then 4 1/8, which is 2 little lines after the 4 inches. And then 1 piece of designer series paper. If you don't want to use designer series paper, you can just use this and you can stamp around the border or decorate it or leave it blank. I've got white, which hopefully won't be too much of an issue for for the camera, but just because of the paper that I chose, I felt white was better. So what I'm going to do is we're going to start with this one first, and I'm going to glue this on. Now, I don't know how easy you can see this, but I've actually used the inside piece. Hi, Maureen. I've actually used the inside piece on the back panel here so that it's not just a blank card. So to make sure that I've got that option, I am just popping glue right in the corners around the edge. Alright, I'm not going to put glue in the middle because I don't want it to stick down in the middle. I want to be able to separate it from the card base. So then we're just going to pop this on here, and remember this one I've cut hopefully to fit right up to the edges. Okay, so we're just going to glue that on, give it a minute. So this one here is going to be our back piece. Alright, so this is our front piece, and we're going to use the trimmer to cut our piece out of the center. So let me get my trimmer in here, and we don't need that one, we need this one. Oops. So we need cut at 5 5/8 all the way around. So we get a 5/8 border all the way around. Now, hopefully I won't get my head in, but what I might do is zoom in a little bit so you can see that. I'm just seeing if that's actually helpful. Yeah. Okay, so for our trimmer, Stampin' Up have got measurements on both sides. This is the 0 point and it goes out to 1.5 this side, and then obviously to our 17 that way. But I'm going to use this top measurement because it gives me a bit more to hold on to. You're going to use 5/8, so you're going to come this side, these larger numbers here, larger gaps, they're our inches, and we're going to use inches. So you're going to use 5/8, so that is the two small lines after the half. So you've got a quarter, a half, and then you go two little lines, and that will give you 5/8. So you're just going to line that up on there, and then again on the trimmer here you'll be starting at 5/8, which is a quarter, a half, and then 5/8 here. Okay, so you're going to put your card in, and we're going to do that all the way around. So let me is it easier on plain for you guys, or let me see, I'll zoom back out again. Oh, maybe in a little bit more. Okay, so quarter, half, 5/8. Alright, we're going to stop. We're going to start, can't see, at 5/8. I'm actually going to use my camera, my 5/8. So I'm just going to click that in place, and then that gets my blade in. And we're going to go all the way down to 5 1/4. Alright, so we're going to start at 5/8 and go down to 5 1/4, which is the first large line. Now, because I'm cutting through designer series paper and card, I'm just going to go back and forth a couple of times, and I'm going to leave, and then I'm going to rotate. I'm going to go back to quarter, half, 5/8, and this time we're going to go to 3, use my bit of paper, 3 1/2. So I'm actually going to come back from there and put my 3 1/2 there, and then I'm going to stop and align the marks on my blade with this line that I've cut here. Alright, so you might just want to go back just slowly, just to make sure that it's cut all the way through, and then we go quarter, half, 5/8. So we should be lined up again here because we started at the, and then we're going to go to 5 1/4. If you're nervous about going too far, just stop a little bit further back, and then you can use your snips. Oh, that's one's alright. I was going to say I didn't cut all the way through. Quarter, half, 5. And then now we've got this line here that you can line your blade up with, and I'm going to line up with this one here. Alright, so I'll just move this out of the way for now, because we'll come back to it. So that, see, I didn't quite go into the corner there, and I didn't quite go into the corner there. So we just get our paper snips. I'm just going to release that there. Sorry, that's really close and blurry. I'm going to go there, and I'm going to just snip. It went in, but it just didn't quite go far enough. There we go. And the same with that one. So there. So our DSP is stuck to our paper. I'll just zoom you back out now. It's because we've glued in that centerpiece, but I've now got this piece here, but I've also got this that I can use. I can pop that in there like that. I can put this on here and just lay it flat like that. And then I'm going to use this in the back, so I'm just going to glue it on right now. You want to make sure that it's not going to lift, so you want to make sure that there's enough glue. Right. Get that as even as possible. And it looks like that goes there. It just sits inside. It'll feel a little bit lower because it doesn't have the extra piece of cardstock, but you should still be able to line it up fine. This is optional. If this is too fiddly for you, then just leave it blank. That's fine. I just wanted to use up the designer series paper that I cut. So those are our two pieces for our base. So this is our front and this is our back. It feels a lot thicker than I thought. So I'm just going to move them to the side. The next piece that we have, which we're going to need, is you've got 3 pieces, and they are 2 1/8. Oh, sorry, let me show you. 2 1/8 by 4 1/8. So 2 1/8 here, 4 1/8 here. 4 1/8 is the same height as our card base. All right. So it is the same height there. You've got 3 of those, and what we're going to do is we're going to score at 5/8 along 3 of the sides. So top, bottom, and 1 of the sides here on all 3. So we'll do that now, and we'll go to 5/8. So quarter, half, 5/8. Oh, I have a visitor. Quarter, half, 5/8. Alright, so this is what you have. You've got 5/8 all the way around here, and then what we're going to do in this side here that doesn't have a score line on the long side, we're going to score at 5/8 just in this top part here and this bottom bit here. Alright, so you're going to pop it in at 5/8, and you can just line your blade up where the score line is and just score across, so you end up with that. Okay, so we're going to do that again. 5/8. Okay, and then on our side that we don't have a score line, we're going to just score those last little bits there. Like so. And last one. Hope you ladies have had a lovely day. It's beautiful and sunny. Oh, Alison, I just booked tickets to Seussical for Friday. Looking forward to that. We usually go because quite a few of Piper's friends usually end up in, especially at Spotlight, but Spotlight or at Papakura Theatre Company. So we often go to community theatre, and they are incredible. Some very, very talented people. Alright, so I'm going to get a pencil. Am I going to get a pencil? And I'm going to show you here what you're going to do. I'm going to cut this bit completely out. Okay, we don't want that. And then I just have to check my diagram. And then we're going to cut here. And we're going to cut a little bit off here. So we're going to mitre that like that. Alright? And we're going to do that. So the mitering is on the side that has got the wide piece. And then we're going to cut off that little tiny flat bit. So we're going to cut here all the way through that score line, and we don't need that panel. Now this panel here, you could use your trimmer if you don't like using snips. This panel here is going to be your mechanism, and so what I discovered when I was doing this is that the mitre actually has to be quite deep. I had quite a narrow one and it got caught. So that is what you need to have. Alright, so I'll leave that there so you can see. And then we're going to get rid of this. And then we're going to cut up to the first score line and mitre. Now I know this probably feels really fiddly, but actually because you're doing 3, once you've done the first one you're like, oh sweet, I can do that. These bits here, obviously not because I've scribbled on it, but they're quite good for sentiments, so keep hold of them for other cards or for this card. You know, they're a good size actually for a lot of sentiments, or for other cards that might need small mechanisms and things, pop out ones. So there, and then mitre. I'm trying to get as much of that off as I can. So we don't have bits and pieces. So then we need to, now I don't know that we actually need to score the top one, but so I'll score these. I think they're more about getting the measurements easier, so we're going to score these. These basically are our mechanism at the bottom, and that middle panel is what holds our design front and back. Alright. Initially I wasn't going to use the next part, which is the panels, but they're actually, it's quite good to have an extra piece on it so that it sits a bit better. Okay, so those are our panels. Alright, so again 3 at 2 1/8 by 4 1/8, score 1 long side and 2 short sides at 5 1/2, and then on the side that doesn't have the score, just on the 2 tabs, you want to score in at 5 1/8 as well. Okay, so there. So those are our pieces there, which are our mechanisms, and then the last part are the pieces to decorate it. This is especially useful if you're stamping on something that's a little bit coloured or a bit darker. So you need 6, and they're at 1 3/8 across, wide by 2 3/4 long. Alright, deep, I mean. So let me move those out. What I've got here is my 6, and I've actually cut out some little characters from the Zoo Crew set, and I might actually just get a brush. Let's go. Granny apple green. Granny apple green. Now, let me move this stuff out of the way. I'm going to, I feel like that's super zoomed in, but it's not. Okay, so this is a bit stiff. That's right. So what I thought I might do is just to give a little bit of colour, because there's colour in the pictures, but there's not a huge amount. So what I thought I might do before I stick them on is to just give a little bit of colour to my stamp pad's a bit dry. Alright, now this is a little technique that I saw online, which when I used was actually really good. So I'm actually just going to pop the green in the middle like so, just to kind of give a little bit of I'm not doing the whole thing, I just want to have a bit of colour in the background. Alright, so you don't have to worry. You're getting on most of it is going to be your image. If you're obviously stamping, you don't need to do this. This is where you would do your stamping, this card. It doesn't have to be white, it could be coloured. But because I've chosen to cut out pictures, I want them to kind of stand out. Let me just clean this block. And what I found is if you pop your ink actually on a block and use the brush off the block, it doesn't kind of get as streaky, which is, yeah, we don't want streaky things. So these are what I've got here. I have a little ballerina, I have a knitting llama, I have a little beaver with some trees and some butterflies. These are all just, I thought, super cute. I have 2 of those. I have a singing turtle, a skunk. So I think I might put this one here and him here. The trees up in the background, and then I have some butterflies over the trees or above the net. Maybe he's just a bad aim and he's above the net, or maybe I don't need the trees. There we go. My little picky friend, and I might just cut some of these bits out actually. These are super cute. Unfortunately, the stamp set and dies set are retiring at the end of the month. They are quite cute though. So I've got 2 going that way, 2 going that way, 1 that way, and he's going to just fit on there. But that's okay. So I'm going to glue them on. Does he need some trees? You need some trees. Maybe I'll put trees there. Okay, so I'm just going to use some Tombow and a little bit of glue. Little ones don't need lots of... Oh, come on, come out. And obviously put the lid on quick enough. So we don't want it oozing out. Where's my tweezers? See if that makes a difference. A bit more. Go. I don't know that I need them. These are a bit bigger. So what's everyone's plans for the week? Oh, trees over here maybe. Anyone got anything exciting planned? We're on school holidays, but still got a bit of work to do. So might get some of that done tomorrow. And I need to get organised for my class on Saturday. And other than that, I probably need to do some sorting out of my mum's stuff that we've still got here. To try and make space back in our house. And I think I'll do a bit of crafting. I've got a couple of classes coming up that I want to get samples made for. The Latte class, the mini album class, which I've just posted. The Latte class is I will do by mail, so you can you'll get a quarter pack of the designer series paper and the materials, ribbon and some gems, and the materials to make 4 cards. And then I will send you, if you're doing it by mail, I will send you a link for some videos so that you can make them at your own pace. Okay, I don't know why I'm putting my glue away. Alright, so now what we're going to do is, on our card base, which I've put somewhere safe over here, on our card base, we're going to have our panels so that that wasn't very well cut, Kelley. So that the opening is against the side here. So it's essentially going to line up with the edge of your card for your first one. Alright. So you need to decide which way you would like your creatures to go, or your cards to go. So I'm thinking that one going that way, and then when it flips over, he's going to be going that way. So maybe actually her go that way, and you'll see that you'll need to do some mitering on the corners. So I'm going to do those two, and then I'm going to have that one, and when it's flipped over, I want to see she's going that way. Maybe I'll have the turtle going that way. So that's my front, my back, and then this one is going to go here because he's looking at Mr. Piggy, and the llama is going to go on the end there. Alright. You don't have to be that technical with it. With my other one, I just popped the teacups on and then did some stamping and added them in no particular order. You can stamp directly on here if you want to, but Yeah, it just gives it a little bit of a lift. But if you are using this and you're colouring with alcohol markers, you'll need the extra layer because it'll go through your cardstock. Alright, so we're going to pop that on there, and that's going to be the back, and that's the front. And then this one, pop that on there, and then flip him over. Make sure it's going the right way when you flip it over. Oh, I think that you would be able to get it, Alison. You just do one bit at a time. Stop the video and come back. Alright, and then I thought it was quite tricky when I was looking at it, like there's no way my brain's gonna cope with that, but actually once I watched a video and it was broken down for me, it was a little bit easier. And you can always give me a call if you start doing it and you get stuck. I am more than happy to do that. Right, so what we're going to do now is we're just going to get where that mitre is, we're just going to cut that off, because otherwise it's going to get caught when we try and open it. Alright, so it just evens up those edges. I just noticed that's not lined up. Oh, that's because it's too late. They're not going to look that closely, to be totally honest. They're going to be just like impressed that they've got a card that's been handmade. Alright. Let's get all our scraps out of the way. So this is now putting it together. So we've got all our panels with what we want on each one. Alright, so we're going to start with our first one, which is this one here, and we're going to pop this, line this up so the two tabs are lined up with the edge here. Alright, so you're going to line that up there and there, which is why it's really important that you're measuring correctly. And I'm just going to put some glue on here. As you've seen, once it sticks, it stays sticking. So you just want to put a little bit on. The glue will give you a little bit of wiggle room. Maybe I'll do a fancy fold colour, Alison, and we'll do this one. Okay, so we're just going to hold that for a few seconds while the glue takes hold. Alright, and then that'll sit down there. And then we're going to get our next one. And these two tabs, on the first one, you're going to fold back your two tabs. And we're not doing anything with them yet. Alright, this one here is going to line up, and the two tabs on the left with the gap are going to sit inside just where that next one was. Alright, so we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to put some glue on here and here, and then you're just going to line that up next to the one you've just put in there, and make sure it's lined up on the edge of your, so you've got this flap still here. Okay, these ones there, and then the same with these. They're going to go there, and they're going to go there, and our last one will just slot in here. Alright, and so we'll fold the flaps over, the left hand flaps over, and pop it on there, and hold that in. Hold down for a few minutes till it gets tacky, and then you're going to see that that will lift, and that will lift. Alright, so now what we're going to do is these tabs that we've got left, we're going to put glue on. Oh, we're a bit over time. Sorry, ladies. Okay, now we've got our frame, and we're going to start at this end here because you've got a little bit more space to line stuff up. So you want to line them up in the corner and get them in the right spot, and make sure all your tabs are folded over so you can get hold of, you can attach to the glue. Alright, I found just tapping it on the desk, giving it a good press once it's in place. So you've got those three tabs that were in the middle, just there. Alright, so you can see that's the mechanism that you've got there. Basically it's just folding it in half. Well, not in half, but folding it, it creates like a window box. Okay, so when we're happy that that's nice and secure, look it from this end, yep, and we just check that there's no overlay, put some glue on, and then when you open it, if you lift from the left hand side, you'll open it and you'll see your little friends on the inside, like so. And you could put a sentiment in there, or you could put a sentiment in the back there. When I was watching the video, she cut out extra panels and glued them in. And I was just like, nah, I'm just going to glue the whole thing in. So this, if you're not comfortable with the cutting out of the shape, you could measure, or you could use a die cut. What you would need to do is measure the width that you've got left here so that you make sure that you come down the top width there. But I believe that all of you can do this, and just take your time. I found this is only the second time I've done it, and actually it was easier than the first time. So this is the first one that I did using the Latte stamp set, and then this one is using the Zoo Crew. And then you've got the back here. Actually, let's put little Mr. Piggy on the back. So then you've got space on the back to write your message to your recipient, and it will fit in a standard envelope. It was interesting because when I was watching the lady, she was American, she's like, and it doesn't fit in our envelopes, and I was like, fits in our envelopes and the other ones that we get, so I don't know if the envelopes are the same or not, but that's what it looks like when it's standing upright. So it actually stands up really well by itself, and anyone who receives that, I'm sure, will absolutely love it. Alright, it is nearly 8:15. Sorry about that, ladies. It's a little bit longer than I thought it was going to be. Thank you for sticking with me. I hope that you have a go at making the card. And if you do, pop it up on my page. We'd love to see what you're creating. I hope that there's a little bit of inspiration for you in, thank you, Maureen, a little bit of inspiration for you to keep crafting. And I will see you back here on Sunday night. If you are in Auckland and you're interested, I have a birthday card stamp stack on Saturday. It was Sunday, but it's been moved to Saturday. So let me know if Saturday doesn't work for you, because I'm happy to do it again another day. So I will see you next Sunday. Have a great week, everybody. Bye for now.